Hey guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is Wednesday, July 8th. I've been up already for a couple hours. I had to have a phone visit with my surgeon at 8 a.m. a little bit earlier than I would have been up probably on my own. So I got up like, I don't know, like 7 something to like get ready and everything. This way I had time to eat and all that good stuff. We didn't really go over like a ton of new information, to be honest. Surgery though is July 28th. So my plan for like the channel is to do 1 to 2 videos a week as I recover, and then I'll obviously update you guys as we go, because I don't really know what to expect. As usual though, like everybody always says like, oh, for surgery it's gonna be like minimal pain and it's really not a big deal. And like, while on one hand I appreciate the optimism, on the other hand I'm like, that's just totally not realistic, especially for my body. I know how I've reacted in the past to laparoscopes, just in general surgery. I don't bounce back as quickly as everybody else does, or as people think that I will. I did tell the surgeon that during my previous visit. I'm not sure if she doesn't remember or if my endocrinologist told her something different. I'm thinking it's that he told her something different, because she's like, oh, I had a really helpful conversation with him, and while he knows about like the complexity of my health and stuff, there's a fly there, it's bothering me, sorry. He knows about the complexity of my health stuff, but he doesn't understand the depth of every little thing, you know what I mean? Like, he's got like the umbrella view, and like I'm the one actually obviously living it. But I know I don't have the MD, so people don't always take me quite as serious as I believe that they should. So I would say like that's my biggest concern at the moment, is that I'm not going to bounce back as quickly as people anticipate. I am, to be completely honest with you, I'm very nervous about the pain afterwards, because after surgery I do struggle quite a bit with pain. I struggle with pain off and on in general. So definitely after surgery pain is a concern in my head. And then like just mobility and stuff of that nature is a little bit of a concern. Like, I'm not really sure what to expect with my underlying diseases, like how's my POTS gonna react, and how's like my mast cell going to react. And I know like everybody's gonna have all the information up front, but there's still just, it's humans, you know what I mean? Like, there's room for error. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. And I do know like the closer you get to surgery, like emotionally it's going to become more stressful, and anxiety and all that normal like stuff. But like I said, I really feel it is normal to feel emotional before surgery. So her goal is to do this all laparoscopically. There's the word. I was having a hard time remembering it. But there's like little things that can go wrong, such as not being able to visualize organs or a particular vein called the adrenal vein. Right now we can't see my adrenal vein, period. So I'm going for a CAT scan next week in hopes that we can see it. I don't know, I just have this weird feeling about that vein. I don't know what's up with it. So we will just see if she can actually see it or not. So like not being able to see that would be a cause to open me up. If the scar tissue is too, I guess, great, or like too much like in the way, I guess, that could cause them to open me up. If the body decides to not stop bleeding, again, cause to open me up. I do have hereditary hemoglobin telangiectasia. I don't struggle a lot with it. I do believe the majority of my bleeding stuff is more so my Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. That's what it seems like. It was more so like with the HHT, it's hard to tell how much it would affect me. And like the geneticist, honestly, when I got that diagnosis, he was so unhelpful with actually both diagnoses that I had received from him. He was so not helpful. It was kind of like, they called me and they're like, well, you have something called HHT, They didn't even use like the actual name, just HHT, and they were like, Google it. Really? I was expecting a little bit more people. Yeah, so there's just a lot to think about and a lot to consider with just surgeries in general with so many underlying diseases. Like I've said before, hi Abby, that I've never gone through a surgery while being this sick. Okay, so Abby was twisted around one of the porch legs. She needed help to get untwisted, and then she needed a quick water break because it has been really, really hot. So we live in Pennsylvania, if y'all didn't know, and it has been so hot recently, and like we don't do good with heat. I don't do good with heat, neither does Abby, neither does my cat Sadie apparently, which I just learned this year, and Grace just doesn't like heat, my other cat. Fluffy doesn't do good with heat either. The only one who does is the stray cat Sunshine, and she's just, you know, indifferent. It doesn't like bother her or anything. But yeah, I think I'm done with my surgery ramble for now. Like I said though, there's just a lot of things to consider and think about. Oh, and she did tell me to bring whatever medicines I feel like the hospital might have or that I feel like I should bring. So I think at this point, like, my plan is to just bring everything, and then like if they have some of my meds and they would prefer to give them to me that way, awesome. But then it alleviates a lot of stress, obviously, with me having to like fight and battle for medicine. I don't want to have to do that, especially not like with so much stress already going on with just the surgery itself. I don't really want like a whole medication stress. We touched on pain management after, but I don't like feel secure in the plan, which is why I'm still obviously really anxious about it, to be honest. And then she said like it's possible we'll use my port, but there's no guarantee. So there's like a lot, like I have a lot of information, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot still up in the air. And like some things she was like, you need to just ask everybody who calls you for like pre-op stuff. Right now though, we're 2 weeks out. I can only have one individual waiting in the waiting room for me. We're hoping and praying at this point that I am able to have both my parents there, because obviously it's not a big deal. It is a big deal for me, but then on the other hand it's not, because like I'm gonna be asleep. So like obviously it's really hard. I'm the one being operated on. But on the other hand, like it'll be really hard like on my mom if it's just her. So yeah. So we're just hoping that things open up a little bit more in New York by the time that I have the surgery, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that, to be honest. This whole coronavirus thing is just still completely insane in my opinion. That's just my personal opinion. And just like watching people and how like they react to everything, it is a little bit frustrating at times. I mean, so many people are like complaining that they have to wear a mask, and then there's those of us obviously with chronic illness, invisible illness, disability, and like we're all still stuck at home, can't go anywhere, can't do anything at all more than usual. And obviously like we're always kind of left out. Finally though, like one time recently on the news, I did hear somebody say something about the younger chronically ill population. I was like, yeah, somebody remembered us, because everybody keeps talking about the elderly with underlying conditions, and I'm like, hello, like what about all of us? And everybody tends to forget that there's a population of us who are young, who are chronically ill, and who are immunosuppressed, and we're at super high risk. So yeah, that's my coronavirus rant for the day, people. It's obviously real different for people like me. I was already wearing a mask most times in public due to my mast cell and all my other issues, because I don't want to get the flu. I can't get acutely sick at all. That is just not good. So I do have like a little outing planned before surgery. I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping that somebody's going to bring me again to the pet store to get extra food to have on hand for Abby. And I've just been like measuring everything out like a maniac basically. This way she's got like, I think it's 20 days of food measured out because I am crazy, and I like to make stuff as easy as possible for my family because I do feel like Abby is my responsibility. I do have help, but she is my responsibility and I enjoy taking care of her. So I like to make things obviously as easy as possible for everybody else while they're watching her. But I'm going to be leaving detailed instructions for my siblings about Abby. This way they don't forget, because sometimes we have this thing where people forget to, you know, play with Abby and do little things like that. And it does get really hard because Abby does battle depression when I'm gone. And this is even harder. I mean, it's hard. It's been hard with the pandemic in general. Like, she can't really come to the hospital or anything. But it's even harder now because not only do we have a pandemic, but the hospital's 3 hours away. So she is staying put. She's staying home, and hopefully she'll at least, you know, want to go outside or do something, have a lick mat. Yeah. Alright guys, so I actually think I am going to be ending this video here. So I will see you guys soon. Bye.